Hello, everyone. We have 1 week. Let me look at the calendar. Yes. Well, not even anymore. Yes. Like a couple days until the new year. I hope you all had a great Christmas and that you all have a great New Year's. I'm working, so I might do something after work, but maybe not. I might just watch the ball drop on TV, and that'll be about it. I have wanted to go see the ball drop, but it does not sound like a fun experience. Like when you consider there are no bathrooms, you're waiting outside in the cold for hours. People are camped out since the morning. I wouldn't mind going to like a hotel near where the ball drop. I know that would be expensive, but that's about it. Because I don't think I want to wear an adult diaper and stand in a crowd of people for like 10 hours or more, even. So there's that. So, first off, obligatory self promotion. My poetry book, What If I Ruled the World? Poems inspired by music. It's always linked down below. Check it out if you have not. Um, and today we're going to talk about my goals. Well, I have my girls with me. Since it's not Christmas anymore, I don't have anything Christmas related on. So first, we're going to go through my accomplishments of this year, and then we're going to go into my goals for next year. So I finished my poetry book. I finished editing it and self-published it, as I just showed you. So that's my one. I think that was my number one goal, even though they weren't really numbered. But today, I think I definitely have them in the order that I want them in, like that of importance to me. Number two, student loan. I was paying it. I was being consistent, and that was the student loan one is not really exciting. It isn't because I got to pay it because I don't want them to, garnish my wages or levy your bank account, all those other crazy things. I don't want that. But this next one is exciting. Travel more. I went to a new place. I went to Mexico. So that was really fun. I think that was really the only trip besides going to see Beyonce the second time. Was that last year or the year before? That might have been the year before. But yeah, I think that was the only time I went anywhere, really. I planned to go other places, but my job uh, was not having it. So that's very annoying. So my other goal was reading more. Um, I actually did listen to some audiobooks that I had on Libby and actually listened to them all the way through. I reread a book I loved, which was Push by Sapphire, which is what the movie Precious is based off of. And it was really nice hearing like their voices and like what they sounded like, especially in the back of the book. All the kids wrote their own like life stories. And Precious is the main book, but they have the other books, little books in the back for the classmates. So that was really cool to hear their voices and hear how they sounded. So I really love that. Read at least one nonfiction book. I actually read two. I was going to say poetry, but poetry is in its own category. I read Britney Spears' autobiography and Jeanette McCurdy's autobiography. I did not, and I didn't put this. It's going to be a bit of a spoiler for my goals. I did not put read books I have before getting new ones because I don't think that's ever going to be a goal I'm ever going to be able to keep because I just love new books. Number five, go new places, go to more local events. I did go to a Renaissance fair, even though it wasn't really Renaissance fairy. Um, I feel like I went to more restaurants. Being a little fat, I went to tea recently, even though I've already been to like a tea place before, but this one's called Lily's. It's really nice. Um, it's kind of small, but it's nice. Yeah. I guess I highlighted fairs, but it was like a Renaissance fair. I'm kind of glad I didn't really dress up for it because it just had like Renaissance music, and it was kind of more of like a food event than anything else. It was not really themed right. But my friend did go to like a Renaissance fair in Maryland. I'm in the DMV area, and it was really Renaissance fairy because I think also the location of it, it's kind of a city-ish location, the one we went to, and then the one my friend went to was more far out, so that made more sense. But yeah, and then learn something new is the last one, and I learned a new recipe and I love it. It's sausage and pepper pasta. It's literally just a title. You mix some sausage, Italian sausage, cut it up with peppers, onion. You can use the fresh mix of peppers, onions, and yeah, peppers and onions because they have the red, green pepper, red and green peppers, and then the onions, and then you just mix it with pasta and pasta sauce. It's so easy, but it's so good. Because one day I had like 5 bags, or I don't know if it was that many, but it was a lot. It was like at least 3 or 4 bags of frozen peppers and onion mix, and I was like, "What am I gonna do with all this?" That's what I did with it. So those were the 6 things I accomplished this year. So let's get into my goals for this year. Number one, which is like the most important, get a new job because it's just too much restrictions. And of course, I work in retail, so it's kind of like a thing that it's not very flexible and you don't like you get free time, but it's during the week and then it's kind of hard depending on I mean Fridays, I like having Thursday and Fridays off because Fridays are more flexible for like your other friends who don't work in retail, work jobs where they have the weekends off. Um but yeah, so then underneath it, like the little tabs underneath is like keep being consistent, keep researching companies before applying, which I've been doing, network more, which is a new one. Go to career fairs, which I definitely need to do. Look at more. I know some of them are virtual, some of them are in person, and so I want to go to more of those. Stay motivated. That's the same, I think, from last year. And then I think I already said by June last year, but definitely this year I want to get it by June because it's just like, there's so many things I want to do. And then with retail, they want to restrict when you can do stuff because of holiday seasons. So last year I really wanted to go to Disney World, but I couldn't because of the holiday season. They don't want people taking off, even though I do think some people still took off. And I definitely asked in June, which is plenty of time, like 6 months before I even wanted to go. So it's crazy. So yeah, I want to, yeah, I just want to get out of there and want to get my career started and have a more flexible schedule. And yeah, or at least if I don't get weekends off, at least it'll be something I want to be doing versus working retail on the weekends. All right, number two, I kind of changed it from last year. It's save and budget instead of just student loans, but still student loans are there, and I want to pay off a good chunk of it. At least the smallest one. The smallest one's like 14,000, so I want to pay a good chunk of that this year. And these, I'm not going to tell you the number just in case I don't need anybody trying to stick me up, but of course, this number is on my budget right now that I have with my current job. But if I have a better job, then of course I could pay more. So that would be even better. Because I only have 2 loans left, one for 14,000, one for 20,000. If anybody would like to just give me $30,000, that'd be great. I know that's never gonna happen. Um, and I know the odds of winning the lottery are so small that it's like not even worth like playing for real. Sticking to my budget, which I have fixed my budget for next year, like, and I've broken down each, like, my bills, my spending, my saving, so that it'll be easier for me to keep track of. And I also have my little budget book where I've been writing everything down. And even now with my Christmas money, I've been writing everything like that I'm ordering and everything that I'm getting. And this paycheck, I've actually been pretty good writing everything that I bought for groceries and how much gas I used and all that. But I really need to just keep being consistent and being better with that. And I want to save money as well. Um, and then I need to adjust my budget when I need to, saving what I put in my budget and only taking out when I need it, and I have an amount there. Being prepared when when I want to go to concerts or other fun stuff, because it's like it's not you know it kind of sucks when you're like, oh, I want to go to this thing, but I don't have the money and I don't have it saved up. So I want to be able to save a good amount just for fun. You know what I mean? Just to go to the spa, go to the concert, and have the ticket money already. I don't have to wait until I get paid. And then what if I don't get a good seat? What if I get a crappy seat? Like, I want to be ready. Okay, writing number 3. Work on my fiction project next. Outline my stories and start writing one at a time, editing one at a time. That's pretty self explanatory because I do want to write a fiction story and I've talked about it a little bit, but I have not gotten to the outline stage yet. So I need to do that. I also want to share poetry or a short story twice a month at least on social media / YouTube to like make myself like my writing more out there because I feel like I don't share enough. Like I share it within my videos, but it's also a part of me doing something else. Even though I do love reviewing books and movies and TV shows and music, I also want to highlight my writing like all by itself. So that's what I want to do. I said social media. I don't know if TikTok. They keep saying they're gonna, I guess, delete it from the app store or ban it or whatever. I don't know what's gonna happen. So it would be nice if they did not, because TikTok is very good for like sharing your stuff, and you could possibly go viral, and that could be helpful. Like depending on what kind of content you make, you know. Really submit my work to different publications because I could also help with my writing. If I want to go into a writing career, whether it's creative or professional, if I'm submitting stuff, that's more to put on my resume like, hey, I've actually submitted to these places and they've published my work. So that's what I need to do. Research freelance, creative, and professional writing. I know freelancing can be hard, but it will also be nice to also have some extra money and experience. So that would be a good thing too. And then also look into publishing companies for my fiction novel. I know it's might be hard to get like published, like especially like a big publisher, unless you have like a book that like has a lot of hype, maybe, or if you're in a position where you're already in an editing company or something. So maybe some indie brands or something. Maybe I'll just test the waters before I self-publish, and then of course I can always self-publish. And then who knows? Maybe that book will do well, and then somebody will see me and be like, hey, come to our publishing company. Who knows? Number 4 is exercise and health, which, yes, definitely do. Just start is what the first bullet point says. Get a class pass or do exercise at home. Look into dancing classes, other exercise classes, online classes, or videos too. My mom has a gym membership. Uh, our schedules are kind of crazy from each other, but I also need to like make myself be consistent with it as well on my own, you know. Do what I feel comfortable with, as always. That makes sense. Be consistent here too. No numerical goal, just get started and stay focused. I said that last year too, but I added 2 new things. Be consistent with my dental health because next year I got to get some fillings, and I've had to get other stuff this year. So I just want to be consistent with that. And especially because like the last thing I had to get done, you know, might not, and I might not have the fillings if I was flossing more. So, um, yeah, that was what they talked about, the fillings last time. And then she was saying, yeah, if you floss more, that would help. So I'm actually going to do that. And I do both the water pick and the regular floss because they said you should do both. So I'm just going to try and do the best I can with what I got and keep being consistent with that. I'll be consistent with my whole health overall and keep my A1C down and take my medications. And then if I'm eating healthier, being healthier, then I won't have to take these medicines probably. Not probably, I wouldn't have to because I would be consistent and healthy and not need them. So that's exercise and health. That's my 4th goal. Number 5 is for this YouTube videos. Really, I put in capital letters. Look into improvements in social media boosting strategies, especially with Instagram. I feel like TikTok, I do moderately good, and then YouTube is kind of like like sometimes it's kind of weird. Like I will have 0 views on certain videos and then thousands of views on other videos. So I need to figure out like what is hidden different for these thousands of view videos versus when nobody looks at my video. You know what I mean? So I need to do that. Learn about that. And I want to try new things. I want to explore new trends or niches. Um, and I saw this TikTok where it was like, if you're a black woman in a certain field, there's not a lot of them. So just do what you want. But it always seems like, and I don't feel like I see a lot of like writing, like TikTokers or writing YouTubers, but I also don't watch a lot of them. So that might be why. So I definitely feel like I see more beauty, more, reviews of items. Like I saw the advent calendars for Christmas, makeup tutorials, cooking tutorials. Like there's a lot of like stuff like that. So yeah, really look into editing apps. Explore more with CapCut because that one's very easy and it's better to me than iHome because it doesn't seem like it takes up as much space as iHome. Like when I edit stuff and I have to save it, it doesn't like my phone is not like, oh, you run out of space like iHome. And then I want to look at other editing tools, work on time management again. Not really doing that well. Work on longer form content and more in-depth videos, which I do want to do, but I also like I guess I want to test the waters with that and see how that goes. Work on focusing more on my writing in the forefront, so that's what I would like to do more. So maybe that's what I already have ideas of what I want to do for like the beginning of next year because I reviewed my top 10 favorite movies, my top 10 favorite scary movies, and then I have a top 10 favorite albums that I did. So then I want to, review those, but yes, but also keeping my writing in the forefront. Number 6 is travel more. Save up full amount for everything, including shopping, was the first bullet point. That's good. That's like a new one. Go to a new place. Visit my favorite place or place you've been before, which is that kind of the same thing? Because if I visited, I already liked it. Wouldn't that? Then that makes sense. Anyway, go on a solo trip. I want to go on a train trip to start because I feel like that'd be the easiest solo trip because for the most part, you know, I'm not like moving around the city by myself too much. So I want to start small, even though the train that I'm looking at, you do make stops, but I feel like it's a good starter solo trip. Look up unique travels, which I put train again, and then Disney. I definitely want to go to Disney and cruise. So yeah, definitely go to Disneyland. I want to go during October. But last year they were acting well. No, last year I didn't have my money up. I had my funny up instead, so that was something. So I got to get that ready. But yeah, I definitely have to go in October and do the Halloween stuff. And number 7 is read more. Actually listen to. So let's read the books you load on Libby. I'm just gonna put listen because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I feel like if I'm gonna read a book on a phone, I might as well just buy the book itself. I don't know. Maybe that's just my old school thinking. Like, if I'm gonna read a book on my phone, I might as well just buy the book and just flip the pages. So I'm mainly use it to listen to audiobooks. Reread a book I love. Read at least one series of books. I did not complete that this year. I started one book of a series. It's a small series. It has 2 books in the series, but I might have gotten halfway through the first book, so didn't get that done. I did read at least one nonfiction book. And now I put this new one. Read a new genre I never read before, like fantasy or science fiction. Even though I think I have read science fiction. I read Beloved, and that's science fiction. And then I read the other black girl. That's kind of, I guess, kind of toting the line of science fiction-y. Yeah, because I think I spoiled it in my video, but I don't want to spoil it now. But yeah, it does have something that's kind of magical. So And then read at least one book a month. So this year I have read 12 books, but I read 3 in one month and 2 in another. And I might have read 2 with other books, but like I want to read at least one book each month of the year. So it'll be more than 12. And number 8, go to more local events. Um, I feel like I went to like different restaurants with my friends, but not really like events, you know what I mean? Um, don't be afraid to go alone. I do definitely want to go to a restaurant alone. I don't think I've ever done that except for like a fast casual, but not like a I guess not like a casual restaurant where like, they bring you the food and stuff. I don't know how to describe it, but like I never been to like a Chili's. I know Chili's is not like fancy, but you know what I mean. But it'd be nice to go. That's what I want to do next year. Let's go one place like restaurant by myself. Treat myself. Even though Chili's is not expensive, but whatever I want to do. Go to riding events, social events, and themed events, farms, fairs. Can't read my own writing. Farmers markets, etc. Try new foods and restaurants. I'm always down for that. I feel like I've done that already this year. Go to museums or monuments I've never been to before. And then there's some museums I want to go to again, so that'd be cool. And number 9, again, learn something new recipe, sewing or crochet, video game, HTML, etc., new hobbies or a possible side hustle. Even though I do feel like I don't want to do something I love and then I'm trying to make money, so then I end up hating it. So, it definitely has to be a balance. And then number 10, make more friends. Again, I did not make any new friends this year, especially black friends. I want to make more black friends, join social groups, and actually go to events, which I need to do that more. I'm in some groups, but I don't really go to them. But of course, if I had like the weekends off, that would be better. Then it's like more options. Even though some of them do meet up on Thursdays and Fridays, so I could still go, but I need to push myself. Look up writing groups and connect with people. Be open. So yeah, those are my top 10 goals for 2025. What are your goals for 2025? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. I hope I probably will see. I'm gonna make at least 2 more videos. They're gonna be short videos, like a TikTok, like the shorts. So it's not gonna be a long video, but this is gonna be my last video of 2024. Hopefully 2025 will be great and will bring great things, even though I'm not particularly happy with the administration that we're going to have in 2025. But you know what? I'm going to do the best I can with what I got. That's all you can do. So, yeah, I will see you all in a short video this year, but in a longer video next year.